So let's begin at the beginning. You are source. And the interesting thing about me saying you are source is if you grasp this concept, course finish, move on. Because everything we're going to do is going to show you that you are source. Now, I know other teachings may have it a different way or a different understanding of it. However, when it comes down to the self, it's you. You are source. Now, I wrote this down earlier because as I said this and I wanted to record this, a bunch of stuff started coming into me and coming down that I had to write down. So if I look down, that's what I'm referring to. But understand this concept. You are source. Now, how does that actually work? When you break off as a soul, when you decide to separate yourself from all that is as an independent sovereign creator being or a source energy being, you take all the embodiments or all the imbuement, all the energy and consciousness that exist as all that is, and you break off as an individual aspect of that. When you break off as this individual aspect or a soul being, you hold everything that is all that is, and you split off as an individual aspect. In that individual aspect, you are now, let's say, a copy, so to speak, of all that is. A reflection, actually, is a better word, of all that is. And in that, you are still connected to all that is. But in that separation, you become your own sovereign creator, source energy being. From that place, you then materialize or densify through vibrational frequencies into all of the different experiences that you desire to experience. In that calcification or in that crystallization or in that densification, you then take on different roles in terms of experiences for realities in which you desire to see forth. And that eventually gets down to you being a human being, a human, a light being, a light energy source, a light manifested in man form. Man. Now, the human is only one aspect of you. One. That's the aspect that is experiencing this reality on this plane called Earth in this physical form. However, all those other aspects still exist. Not only do they still exist, you are still them, just not focused in those layers. You're focused as the human. But you are still the source, the soul, that is feeding all other aspects into experience. And all those aspects feed back into the soul, into the source, and feed back into each individual aspect. Just like the soul feeds back into all that is, which then feeds that back into all of the individual aspects, or the independent or the sovereign creator beings. So the punchline is you are source, but this is how you are source. You are source at the highest form. And I call it the highest form because it's only the highest in terms of most collective and highest vibrational aspect. That's it. It's not above, it's not below, it's not greater, it's not less than. It is all encompassing. So And the vibrational frequency of it is such a difference from what we densify into human form that you could call it higher on the scale of vibrational frequency. So you are all of it, and you are none of it. Because at the same time as being source, you are all that is. And all that is everything and nothing. It is the nothingness and the everythingness. It is the 0 point by which everything comes into creation, while at the same time nothing exists. So this understanding of source, some call it God, some call it a bunch of different titles. There is an all that isness, which is everything, the collective, the unity consciousness, the consciousness of all existence feeding into one thing. And then there is the individual aspects that decide to incarnate, the soul beings, the soul creator beings, the independent or the sovereign creator beings, that then break down into different levels of incarnation or realities, forms, densities. And while at the same time, all of these other aspects still exist. So this is you in all of its beauty and its glory, in its divinity, in its divine state. And what we are doing here now in human form is we've reached a point on this planet, which is why this information is all coming forth and you're seeing so much of it everywhere, is that we reached a point on this planet where our consciousness has expanded enough that we can now connect with all aspects from the human form. See, all of those other aspects have tried to connect with us this entire time, but we did not have a two-way communication, so to speak, without leaving the body. What is going on right now is we've raised the vibrational frequency and we've emerged into such consciousness in the human form that now we have a multitude of communications that is taking place with all aspects of us, all aspects of you. You can now connect with your divinity, the source aspect of you, and funnel that into your human form. You can now connect with galactic beings that are you and funnel that into human form. You can connect in the other realms and exist in the other realms and bring it back to your humanness in this form, in this here, in this now. We have unprecedented access to all that is in the human form. And we have stories of this, and the last time we were connected to this in such a way, we've called it or deemed it the fall. But what the fall actually is us creating our external egoic consciousness or our independent egoic consciousness as a separate self from the true self in order to experience deeper separation. But now we're moving back into unification. And in that unification, the understanding you are source has to be accepted because you're now unifying with all aspects of self. And all aspects of self are unifying with you. This is happening with your lives, with the multitude of lives that you've lived on this planet. It is happening with the other aspects, the parallel reality aspects of you. It is happening with you, with your I am, the I am that I am, the source light being that is projecting you into this physical form, that is here to serve you in this experience, and you are serving it by feeding it back the experiences, as well as the entire soul being that you are in all aspects, parallels, dimensions, realities, all the way into unity consciousness of all that is. So this is you. And when you begin to know you as the self, you begin to open up to you as all that is. Because the self is all that is. You are a individual or a sovereign aspect of all that is as a creator being in this physical form here and now, with full connection and communication with all other aspects of you, which means you can bring any aspect to here and now. So, take a breath and let that sink in. Let that settle into you, because there is nothing outside of you. It's all you. And this is the hardest, most challenging concept for humans to accept, because we've been trained, we've been taught, we've led to look outside of ourselves to see, because those things have influence on us, when really, truly, it's been you. Always has been, it always will be, and it's just you in different aspects of reality, different aspects of vibration, different, let's say, solidities of matter, all the way to the light being essence that is you. And what we are doing right now is bringing more light to us here, so that this becomes more light and embodies all of the light being that we are. This is powerful and huge if you can grasp this, when you grasp this. And it may not happen right now in this moment. It may happen one day you go, oh shit, I am all that is. Because as you connect with the aspects of self, all aspects of yourself, being your true self, the divine being that you are, projected, the divine light being projected into human form. When you start to merge that aspect into this reality, reality fundamentally begins to change, because you start connecting and knowing yourself as the larger creator being that you are.